Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Blue Jaegers, and today we're going to be talking about something I think a lot of people have a hard time grasping. Now, when I say that I have a series called You Don't Understand the Story, I'm actually going to be a little bit less harsh here because this is complex stuff, although, I'm not going to go there. But let's just dive right into this. Okay, so objectively speaking, this is not a theory. Again, my channel's not my personal opinion, so I'll tell you my personal opinion. This is not one of those times. Objectively speaking, and this is the point of the story. This is one of the morals of the story. The memories of the future do not change people's actions. Again, it's not up for speculation. It's not up for debate. And again, if you want to debate me, you can email me. You can comment. You can talk to me on Twitch, I think, something like that. You can do whatever you want. In fact, I'm actually going to start leaving my Discord in the description, so you guys can, chew me out there. But this is not up for debate. Now, I'm going to bring up two instances to prove this, okay? Number one, hold on a second, would be, chronologically speaking, would be Grisha. The big question, again, I sort of answered this in one of my very first videos, but the big question, why does Grisha give Eren the attack titan when he told Zeke to stop him? It doesn't make any sense. Why did he do that? Now, I'm going to tell you why. Okay, now there's a couple ways to look at this. There's, of course, the causal loop paradox, or the bootstrap paradox, which is the only reason why he saw those memories is because because Eren had the Founding Titan in the first place, therefore causing him to give him the Founding Titan, right? That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is, Grisha, it's going to sound similar, but there is a difference here. Grisha wanted to, and was always going to, give Eren the Founding Titan, right? And because he wanted to avenge Karla's death, he wanted to save Eldia, and because Eren was his son. Now you might think that's a little bit strange, the last part. Well, I say that because his last child, Zeke, he kept telling him, what do you keep telling him? I know you can do this because you're my son, you're my son, you're my son, you're my son. And I'm not saying it's cute or fuzzy or he believes in him. I'm saying maybe he thinks he's special, or he started the whole thing, so maybe he thinks that his kid will be, just as good as him or better than him. Whatever we want to take out of that. And I'm not saying he's being nice. I'm just saying he always says to Zeke, because you're my son. Now, what does he tell Keith right before he takes him to the forest? He says, what if your kid is not special? What if he's just like me? And he looks at Keith. And of all the things he could have said, he could have said, well, he killed kidnappers when he was 9 to save a friend. He was a tough kid. He fights bullies, all this other stuff. He looks to Keith and he says, because he is my son, right? He has the same ideology throughout. And of course, for the other two, right, we see him talking to, again, to Eren. He says, you need to avenge Karla's death. You need to avenge Karla's death, right? Because that death still angers him, it still bothers him. And of course, in Season 4, Part 2, he says to Eren, right, will Eldia really be saved with this, right? So those are his 3 goals. Now the rumbling accomplishes all 3 of those goals. Eren is the most special. Eren has more power than anyone else. Eren has been the most consequential character, has been the most consequential person since Jesus Christ himself. Of course, they're not close as far as consequentiality goes, but I'm saying he's just very consequential. There's been no one like him, and there probably will be no one. There was no one. Oh, and maybe Paul too. But you know what I mean. Let's just take up theology for a second. He's one of the most consequential persons in history, right? So, his son did become special, right? And of course, trampling Marley, killing people, right? Redoing the same pain that was done to him, avenges his mother, his wife, Carla. And of course, number 3, the rumbling, and I'm not going to get into, 80%, 90%. The rumbling, just as a general principle, does secure Parady's safety, or at the very least, has the best chance of securing Parady's safety. I think we can all agree on that, right? In principle. I'm not going to get into specifics here, but in principle, it is the best to guarantee the Parady's safety. So, again, now what is it I'm trying to say here? He's saying that people's innate nature will not be changed. No one will act outside of their own nature, right? Again, that does not make you a slave. Okay, I just want to make this very clear. That does not make you a slave. Okay. The example I was bring is a dolphin wants to swim. It's in its nature to swim. Okay, it's going to swim. Okay, a dolphin who dreams of flying does end up flying, right? Maybe he gets what I want to fly. What's going to happen to that dolphin? He's going to be in pain. Not only physical pain because he's out of the water and he's supposed to be in the water. He's going to be in emotional pain because he realizes that he's not free. Okay, so that is not freedom. Freedom is not being able to do whatever you want. Again, we already discussed this. Okay, that is not freedom. That's hedonism, and hedonism is a disgusting philosophy that needs to die. Okay, for those of you who don't know, hedonism is basically yellow, right? But an eagle that cannot swim. An eagle has no business fretting about why it cannot swim. An eagle has no business fretting about the freedom of not being able to swim and how he's trapped by not being able to swim, right? The eagle acts according to his own nature, which is to fly. That means the eagle is free. The dolphin is free. Recap. I say all of that just to say that just because you act according to your nature does not mean that you are not free. And again, I always say this, if you're a religious person, we know that God only acts in accordance with his own nature. And of course, in our theology, he's the freest being. And, he cannot lie. You can lie, but he cannot lie. So are you more free than God? For you religious people, they'd obviously say no, right? But that's why I brought the dolphin example beforehand if you're not religious. Okay, so that being that's what Isayama is trying to say. The future memories are not going to affect your past actions because you will always act like you otherwise would have. Okay? Now, for the second example of this, which is Ramsey. So, Aaron goes to Marley, right? And he sees Ramsey. He's a pickpocket, and he starts to get beat up by his people. And of course, Aaron is upset about this. He always it's in his nature to stand up for the little guy. It's not like seeing people get picked on and bullied. So he goes to them and he's like, "I'm gonna go save this kid," and then realizes this is ridiculous. I'm gonna trample him to death earlier. Why would I do this? Again, his actions are now being informed by his future memories. You see that's working. Again, this is why I brought these two examples, because him saving Ramsey, has no effect on the plot whatsoever. It does not create a causal loop paradox. It does not break the time loop. It does not change any actions. It does not make it so because it doesn't kill him. It doesn't make anything happen, right? All that happens is nothing, right? It's completely inconsequential, which is why Aaron was struggling with it, because he's going to get killed either way, right? It's completely inconsequential. Then with his future memories, informed by his future memories, he then decides to turn away. But what happens? Aaron cannot overcome his innate nature, and he turns and he saves Ramsey anyway. Why? Because it's in his own nature to stand up for the little guy in that context, mind you, not in all contexts, but in that context, it's his nature to stand up for the little guy. So that is exactly what he does. His future memories are not affecting his present actions, right? Even the inconsequential ones. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something. If you did, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.